My goodness me. So it was interesting, though. It was interesting, going out there doing there is a sense out there that, look at this, the ISIS. How many people have they gotten? Was it 600?
Let's see. 100? They've had, last I saw was at least 600 traffic stops and 100 detained.
Not all of them were here illegally. Some were detained because they were warrants, drunk, things like that.
Yeah. Well, the Highway Patrol, it's like there's two separate statistics. The Highway Patrol is releasing who they have arrested and for what. We don't know who the ICE detainees are, or exactly what their charges are, but apparently the reports is that the people that were detained could not show that they were here legally and have been taken to the Louisiana immigration facility where that's all being flashed out.
Yeah.
But we still don't know who they are or exactly what, the reason is for their, whether or not they had an actual, removal order or that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, I've said this and I'll say it again. Do we want to get the worst first? Of course we do. But everybody's come here knows there will always an opportunity of the knock at the door.
Yes.
Always know that there's an opportunity. Now, in other times when ICE wasn't around, pulled these people over, they'd have told them, hey, you got to light out, get it fixed, and they move on with their life.
Right.
It's different right now.
Yeah.
That's it. And is it going to be like this forever here? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to have this for a few weeks and months, and then off they'll go because we're still limited. At the end of the day, we're still limited in how many people we have working for ICE. But there was always that opportunity that you could get in trouble. That was never not there.
That's why I say, man, if you are here on a green card or a visa or something like that, have that documentation on you.
Yeah.
Have it on you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, at any given time, it could happen. And then, I was watching some of the reports this weekend, the one in Fox where they're down there and like, people say that nobody's coming to work now.
Yeah.
So we had to close the business. Really? Really? That's it? Well, it's what they're telling us. I'm like, nope. I gave somebody a drink and then I realized nobody works here but me. So I had to close the whole place down. So you didn't realize before that and nobody showed up. Like they act like ICE is undercover cover inside the kitchens.
Right. They're going to come out of the cabinets.
Just when you thought you were going to make somebody a pizza, we got you.
You open the walk-in fridge and there's an ice guy there.
Literally ice. That's why they're keeping everybody ice.
Going to jump out from behind the fountains.
It is, yeah, it's so, but I get it. Look, do I get it? Yes. And Democrats out there, you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. You allowed so many people to come here that even people who were like, well, I don't want to throw everybody out, were like, nope, this is ridiculous. You did this to you. Remember that. As you do it. I was looking at, Afton went out there this weekend. As did several. Did you see her little video?
I didn't see it.
It's pretty funny. She got pulled over.
She got pulled over? I'm like, looking at, she didn't get pulled over by ICE. Now she got pulled over by, THP. And they were like, they gave her a citation for something. And I think she was she recording it?
Yeah, she ran a red light. She ran a red light. And they said that, they were out there following ICE. First of all, who's got that kind of time?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go follow ICE? No, I don't, actually.
When she comes in again, we got to ask her about it.
Yeah. Look.
This is what, Democrats see this as a way to, as we know, they are grabbing for something to carry in to the midterms. They're waiting on the economy to tank.
Yeah.
And this is something else that they can grab onto and hopefully try to convince people that people are being dragged out of their homes and, blindfolded and put into these vans.
They're deporting American citizens. Right. If you're brown, they're catching you and throwing you out of here. That's the thing they go for all the time. And look, do I want to get the worst first? Yes. Even Trump has mentioned, if you've been here for a while, there may be a way that we got to figure out how we can keep some people here. I get that because he's going to get it also from big business. You know that. But the reality is, you guys did this to yourself, Democrats. You allowed a guy who was feeble to pretend that the border could never be secure and allowed God knows how many people really in there when you count in the gotaways and whatnot. And they're desperate for something. They've got nothing. And this is great theatrics, right? Going into an ICE detention and falling over like you've been shot. Oh, my God. And them taking you. They're all hoping to get arrested because it looks good. It looks good on your resume of theatrics.
Yeah.
And, like you said, they're hoping and waiting that the economy may collapse because which is a weird thing to say, that we want our country to suffer.
Right.
So your team can get in power.
Yes.
Which is insane. Now they're hoping that, if none of these things happen, there's always that Hail Mary that they're going to do something stupid with Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
And then, it's like, this is insane. But this is the best theatrics they have right now. And listening to Freddie, it's just so tough. How does that look, right? If you're here, even if you're here legally and you got in trouble, you're naturalized citizens. And you're out there watching people who are here illegally, and you're like, we're going to set up a fund. This should be called the We Hate Trump Fund. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
It would be, we hate Trump. He's the worst. And as I said the other day, and I continue to say this, if Trump embraced everybody that came here illegally, which is what he should do, therefore the Democrats would then do what? Want to deport everybody.
It would be opposite.
Reverse psychology. Hey, I'm going to get them to think that I'm here, and I'm going to give everybody a pathway to citizenship. And then what's going to happen is they're going to build a wall bigger than we've ever seen, and they're going to deport everybody tomorrow.
Well, and, if I'm not mistaken, President Obama, I think, still holds the record on deportations.
Yeah, 3 million.
And there was never any, question.
No. So his deportations were really interesting because his deportations were all border-based for the most part, like 90%. Yeah. You came across the border, they took your information, they turn around and put you on the other side. That was it. If you were here for longer than 2 years, that is when the due process thing came in.
Yeah.
But if they caught you within a certain amount of mileage between the border, man, he boomeranged everybody. Back you go. Barack the Boomerang Obama. Back you go. That's what he was all about. And he didn't care because he realized this was not a winning argument.
Right.
It wasn't.
And he's the one who built the so-called cages.
Yes, those cages.
They became cages under the first Trump administration.
They were. Before they weren't. But then they became cages. Oh. It was, again, it's all theatrics. That's the thing that frustrates. Nobody's serious about getting anything done. That's the thing. I mean, we're on the same team. 80% of us believe in mostly the same stuff. We may want to get to the same area a little bit different, but we believe it's just theatrics, right? Like today, you know what nobody's talking about? The lower prescription prices that Trump's pushing. That will play a bigger role in people's life than you could realize.
Absolutely.
I was watching a movie yesterday, and it was from a few years ago, but this girl was trying to get insulin, and her prescription wasn't ready yet, but she needed it bad, and it was like $300.
Goodness.
Right? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's what it's like, depending on what you get. These things matter.
Yeah.
The cost of stuff like this matters on a daily basis. All the other stuff is, yes, immigration's important. And we still, by the way, even if he deports a lot of people, we still don't have a real immigration bill that's right. We don't have anything that is going to set the tone for what's going forward in the future. Because as you and I've talked about, Ken, just like with abortion, man, you don't want to give this one up too.
That's right. I mean, both sides have had their opportunities to codify their big issues.
Yeah. Totally.
And they haven't done it.
Yeah. Oh, God. How many times have you said, like, whether it's taxes, abortion, immigration, you can go on and on. Every time they've got something that they could get done, because you only get one usually. You get one big thing, and then usually you lose the midterms, and then you have to negotiate. Right. So every time, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they've had opportunities to fix any of those things, to codify those things, to put stuff out there that's real, and they never do it.
Yeah, if it's that big of a deal, if it's that scary, when you have that opportunity, when you've got the majorities where you need them, then why not do it?
I don't know.
And I think it's because they're great tools for getting elected.
They're money raisers.
Yeah.
Man, I've always said this. I can't go, if everything's good, I can't go to the people and say, look, they're the boogeyman for real. You need to hire, I'm the only one that can fight the boogeyman. If you're like, this boogeyman's pretty cool. Kept my taxes low. Everything seems to be going smooth. Life is good. Man, I'm sorry. It's hard. Batman needs Joker.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And that's what they give each other. And these are the things they fight at.